This is the StealthCast.
Let's do this.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth episode of the StealthCast. I'm your host, Nikki. It is the 26th of October. Thank you all for joining me on today's show. We had a lot to talk about, including GamerGate. I've been doing a lot of research on that. This week's show, or I guess I don't really do this weekly, I do it whenever I want. This episode was delayed a little bit, and there was a pretty big gap between episode 3 and episode 4 for a few reasons. Number one, I'm just just lazy. A lot of homework. I had a few midterms, as well as just Destiny games all day. But I will be talking about GamerGate a little later on the show, and part of the reason this show was delayed, no excuses, but I was spending a lot of time reading a lot of different articles on GamerGate and what they stand for and what the whole situation's about, and I feel like I kind of understand it a little more than the average person, but I still don't fully get what is going on and why people are insane, so I'll do my best to present what's going on and what I think about it, as usual, on GamerGate. That'll be a little bit later on the show. Really, really exciting week for me here at Stale Shampoo. It's the 26th of October, which means Taylor Swift's new album, 1989, is coming out in just a few hours. I am pumped about this next album. Now, what's awesome about this is that it sounds like her, but it sounds like nothing she's ever done before, and I kind of stole that from the Rolling Stones, and it's exactly what I'm thinking. I really love it, and I'm not trying to put myself on her level, but to some extent, we're entertainers. She's definitely an entertainer, and I'm like a pretend entertainer. I pretend like I matter on my podcast and my stream and all that stuff. But anyway, what I really love about what she's doing is that if you listen to her debut album, her self-titled album, up to 1989, which I'll be listening to in a few hours, there's this huge change. She went from country to pop, and the albums in between kind of gray the country pop line. Red was a bit poppier than the rest of her albums. I would say We're Never Ever Getting Back Together, which she co-wrote with Max Martin, who also co-wrote Shake It Off. He has a very poppy sound to him, and I really love her transition from one genre to another. And I feel her as a fellow entertainer who moved from, COD to start off with, my YouTube channel. I played a lot of that, to Assassin's Creed, to The Last of Us, to Destiny, and then coming up, Advanced Warfare, Evolve, Dragon Age Inquisition. It's so hard as a content creator to transition to something else that you want to do. And we can't do the same thing for forever. We're going to get bored of it. It's going to get stale. It's going to, if we're bored of it, if we're not enjoying it, you're not going to enjoy listening to it. That's why I moved away, again, from The Last of Us Destiny. I played The Last of Us for 15 months. 15 months! That's a lot longer than most people play that game. It was time to move on, and I transitioned to Destiny. What I really admire about her, among a million other things I admire about her, is her elegant transition from country to pop. And of course, there's always going to be some fall off of viewership or listenership when you change genres or change games, change formats. Let's say I went from doing what I do now, streaming multiplayer matches, to speedrunning games. That would lose me some viewership. I'm targeting a different audience, and sometimes those two audiences don't necessarily overlap. So I love how she's gone from country to pop. She's maintained what she wants to do while still maintaining a huge portion of her audience. So props to her. 1989 comes out on Monday, and I wish I was sponsored by it. And oh wow, there's so many different opportunities to meet Taylor, like pre-order the album. I would die. If this podcast ends just abruptly, it's because I met her and then exploded. Don't worry about me. I died happily in that case. Anyway, before we talk about GamerGate, let's talk about this new Kickstarter phenomenon called the NoPhone. Now, a long time ago, and by a long time ago I mean a few months ago, there was this dude on, I believe it was Kickstarter or Indiegogo, I don't quite remember which site, but he was funding potato salad. That's it. He just wanted to make potato salad. He's like, hey guys, I've never made potato salad before. Send me some money and I'll make some potato salad. And if I get enough money, I'll make two potato salads. And this guy got thousands of dollars of funding. I don't know exactly how much he earned, but he earned thousands of dollars to make 2 bowls of potato salad. And I believe he also threw a pizza party or something because he raised such an absurd amount of money. And a lot of people took that as, oh, people aren't taking Kickstarter or Indiegogo, this crowdfunding thing, very seriously. And I partially disagree with that point. If people want to fund the making of potato salad, let people fund the making of potato salad. Isn't this a democracy? Democracy is not perfect, but it's their money. Let them pay for what they want on Kickstarter, on Indiegogo. If they want to pay for potato salad, then by all means, let them. Going on to the NoPhone, this is a little more interesting. It's basically a rectangle, is the best way I can describe it. It's just a black rectangle, and it's not a phone. It looks like a phone, I guess from a distance. It's got no screen, no camera. It can't make calls. Doesn't even have a battery in it. It's called the NoPhone. And so far, I'm looking at it right now. I'm recording this 4 p.m., October 29th, Wednesday. This campaign has been up for a little bit. They needed $5,000 to make the NoPhone, which is, no, they didn't need $5,000. But again, people want to donate to what people want to donate to. They've raised $5,000 was their goal. $8,202 as I look at this. They have 413 backers. It looks like the minimum you can donate is $1, but the minimum you can donate to get a reward is $12, and you get 1 NoPhone. Now, this might seem like another senseless, let's put something stupid on Kickstarter and hope people pay for it. I think, didn't they have a South Park episode about that? Yeah, about doing nothing, and then the guys were funding a project where they do nothing, and basically the company that was backing them, I forget if it was Kickstarter, Indiegogo, or whoever, was taking money from them for doing nothing. So it's like people are donating money to these people to do nothing, and then the website takes a share of that. And that was the whole South Park episode. I think it was one of the more recent ones. But anyway, the NoPhone, I feel like, holds a little more social significance than just we're trying to sell something that looks like a phone. Because if you read the page here, which I will link down in the description, down there in the description, you can find all the articles that I'll talk about today. The company's pitch for the NoPhone is as follows, and I quote, "The NoPhone is a technology-free alternative to constant hand-to-phone contact that allows you to stay connected with the real world. Phone addiction is real, and it's everywhere. It's ruining your dates, it's distracting you at concerts, it's disrupting you at movie theaters, it's clogging up sidewalks. Now, there is a real solution. Introducing the NoPhone, a technology-free alternative to constant hand-to-phone contact." I feel like maybe I'm looking too deep into it, but this is a social commentary against how people always have their fucking phones in their hands 24/7. Now, I'm a little scared to get a smartphone. I have a Samsung Exclaim. This phone is probably older than some of you guys listening. No, not really. Unless you're like 7 years old listening, then welcome to the StealthCast. And be careful of the internet. It's a dangerous place. But I have a Samsung Exclaim. You probably have no idea what this phone is, but it flips open 2 ways. It slides open, not flip, but it slides open to reveal a number pad, and then if you slide it open the other way, it has a full keyboard, which I really like. I love when you get feedback, when you push a button, you know, like a keyboard, you push down a button, and there's a little bit of that resistance, not really resistance, but there's a confirmation that, yes, you have indeed pushed this button. When it comes to iPhones and touchscreens and all that, I don't really like the fact that, you know, you might accidentally hit the wrong button because there's not really a point to the center of your thumb, and it's all weird to me, touchscreen. So I like tactile feedback. Is that what it's called? Tactile feedback. I'm a professional. I'll use whatever word I want. But yeah, I love that feedback when you push down a button. So anyway, back onto it. I have a really old phone, and I've been due for an upgrade for years and years and years. I've had this phone for like 6 or 7 years. I was considering getting an iPhone or something, Android. I don't quite know what I want, but here's my fear, and here's why I've been holding back on it. It's not for money, but it seems like everyone is always so drawn to these damn things. And, you know, you're the one talking, Nikki. I'm the guy who plays video games 12 hours a day, and, you know, I've spent half my life staring at a screen. Well, at least probably this year. Not gonna lie. But I like it when I go out to school, you know, take the bus, whatever, I'm out eating, that I'm not attached to anything. When I'm here doing my podcast, or when I'm playing Destiny on Twitch or whatever, I'm playing Destiny on Twitch. I'm podcasting. You know, I'm on this screen that I sit in front of 12 hours a day. When I'm out, I'm out. I don't have a screen to look at. I guess I'll play my 3DS, you know, every now and then on the train. I have Smash 3DS. It's pretty damn good. Can't wait for the Wii U version. But other than that, like, I'm in class, I'm either paying attention or asleep. One of those two things. There's no disconnect, it seems to me, for a lot of people between the screen and real life. And there still is for me. I'm on the screen a lot. But when I'm in real life, very rarely, but when I'm in real life, I'm in real life. I don't have Twitter there in my pocket. I have to sit down on my computer or pull out my fucking 9-pound gaming laptop. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea to go for. That's a terrible idea. If you commute like me, that's a terrible, terrible idea. It just scares me. I sit down on the bus or whatever, and you know, everyone's got their headphones in, they're looking at their phone, and I guess whatever, you know, you're on the bus, you probably don't want to talk to some random person. Whatever, I'm an introvert too. But, you know, people aren't in class or just walking down the hallway, like staring at their screen. That shit's dangerous. I don't know. My parents just might have taught me well, but I look where I'm walking. And in the rare instances where I'm not looking where I'm walking, you know, if I have to send like a really urgent text, I'll look down at my phone, I'll like instantly look back up. I've seen people walk miles, exaggeration, miles without looking up from their phone as they were texting. Like in the parking lots, people are doing that. And even on dates, you seriously can't, I don't know. What is it with taking a selfie of your food? All right, is that really a selfie? Is it a foodie? No. A foodie is what you get after eating Taco Bell. Not me. I'm like immune to Taco Bell. Anyway, it scares me. People's attachments to their phone scares me because they go home and get on Netflix or on their computer and they're still staring at a screen. They go to school, staring at their phone. I have that disconnect. I feel like I'm the only person who walks between the two worlds of the digital realm and the real world. I should make a movie about that, about a guy, right, who goes between two different realms. I'll call him Neil. Yeah, his name will be Neil, played by me, Nikki. Both ends. That makes a lot of sense. And let's see. They'll have to use their phones to get back into the real world. It's brilliant. I'm going to stop talking about it so I can write up this script. It's amazing. But basically the NoPhone, I feel like, another silly Kickstarter project, undoubtedly silly, is partially, I feel, a social commentary about how people are always connected. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, think about it. I don't know, 1900s, president was killed. Who's Lincoln? How long did it take? Well, actually, America probably wasn't that big by then. Still, would all of America known back when Lincoln was president? I don't remember when. I have an idea, but I don't want to throw it here. Hold on. When was president? When was Lincoln president? Oh, 1865. Wow, I would have really got that wrong. I'm not very good with my years, okay, ladies and gentlemen? 1865. He was president 1861 to 1865. Had the Louisiana Purchase happened by then? Did we have that part of America? My history is not very good right now. Anyway, Lincoln, right? Lincoln gets shot in the face. How did he die again? Oh my God, my history is terrible. Lincoln gets shot in the face. Would everyone in the United States at that time, however big it was, have known within 30 minutes that the president died? If Obama, right now, bit the dust, everyone in the U.S. would know within 30 minutes. I guarantee it. Twitter, Facebook, it would be everywhere. It is amazing how connected and how fast information travels. If the Japanese president, what do they call him? Prime Minister? I don't know. What do they call the Japanese president? If the Japanese president bit the dust, we here in America would know. Than 30 minutes to an hour. The world wasn't like that a century ago is the point I'm trying to make. And it's amazing how connected we are, but it's also fucking terrifying. It is absolutely terrifying. So yes, the NoPhone, if you're one of those people who are suffering from phone addiction, perhaps get yourself a NoPhone. It's only $12. Link down there in the description. Anyway, moving on. Let's get into the fun part of the show. This is really something as gamers, as human beings, that I feel like we all need to pay attention to. We're going to start talking about GamerGate now. And a lot of people, including myself, a few weeks ago, were confused as to what the hell GamerGate was doing and who the hell are they. So looked into it, and from what I understand, GamerGate is a movement, a group of people who are trying to fight for journalistic integrity. Now before we start talking about GamerGate and what they're fighting for and how they're fighting for it, let me talk about journalistic integrity. I cannot express how much I just do not give a fuck about journalistic integrity. I just don't. Let's look at Fox News, for example. They're biased. How about that? Let me be a little more professional here. Fox News is a little bit biased. I'll let you decide which side you think Fox News leans towards. But they're a bit crazy, denying global warming and all that fun stuff. Fox News, to me, has no journalistic integrity. They are not a reliable source for information. I don't watch their shows unless I want to laugh. I don't watch their shows. Don't listen to their newscasts. Nothing. All right? I don't think Fox News has journalistic integrity. Therefore, I do not listen to Fox News. Same thing with magazines. I don't know, People Magazine, or, I don't know, is there like US Today? Is that Us Today or US Today? I don't know. It just comes to show how much I give a fuck about gossip magazines. Do you really, do people actually read that for information on celebrities, or do they read it for just a little bit of entertainment? Do you actually believe what they're writing? An anonymous source, a friend, quote unquote, of Taylor Swift says that Taylor eats kittens. What? You're crazy. No journalistic integrity. Not going to read your stuff. So GamerGate is a movement fighting for journalistic integrity rather than not reading their stuff. Although I do agree that the media is responsible for some of the things they say. Everyone freaking the fuck out about Ebola is just media sensationalism. No, Ebola is not a problem, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a problem. You know what's a problem? Heart disease. Kills a lot more people than Ebola here in America. Don't worry about it. Media sensationalism. Yeah, the media is putting out a bunch of crap sometimes, but maybe we should take some personal responsibility into what we believe, and everyone should just have a healthy little dose of skepticism. Not, the media's conspiring to kill us all. No, okay, you're going a little crazy there, man. Maybe just a little healthy dose of skepticism. Anyway, that's me on journalistic integrity. GamerGate's fighting for journalistic integrity. It all started when Zoe Quinn cheated on her boyfriend with Nathan Grayson, a journalist from Kotaku, and he just so happened to be writing an article on Depression Quest, Zoe Quinn's game, and Zoe Quinn has been a huge target of online abuse. And the way GamerGate, if you've been paying attention to Twitter or Facebook or GamerGate at all, the way they seem to be going about their, the forwardment of their movement. Sure, forwardment, that is now a word. The way they're going about achieving their movement is by being very abusive, and that's putting it lightly, towards female game developers, female journalists, or just females in the gaming industry. Now let me go into feminism real quick. Here's where I stand on feminism. And hear me out before you start going like, oh my God, Nikki's a woman-hating bastard and he wants to... No. Hold on. Just let me explain myself, okay? I might have a slightly different stance on feminism than you might be used to hearing. And that is, men and women aren't equal, but should be treated equally. All right? Now, let me say that again. Hold on. I don't want you to just crop up that first part and say, Nikki hates women. They're pretty. Hold on. Men and women aren't equal, but should be treated equally. Now, here's what I mean by that. Let's say I needed a fire person. Not a fireman, not a firewoman. I needed a fire person. Right? Things catch on fire. Someone's got to put them out. A lot of things go into putting out a fire. Rescuing people from windows, putting up carrying ladders, handling a fire hose, being strong enough to, lift a large piece of debris off of a person. You probably need to know a little bit about being a medic. I don't know. I'm not a fire person. You probably have to, do a lot of cardio, a lot of running. I do not want X standards for men and X -1 standards for women in terms of being a fighter. No. Let's say you need to run a 6-minute mile to be a fire person. 6-minute mile, that's pretty fast. I've never been able to run a 6-minute mile. That's really, really fast. I don't want the mile time to be a fire person to be 6 minutes for guys and 6 minutes and 30 seconds for girls. Or let's say you need to be able to bench 200 pounds. I'm just throwing out numbers here. And I could never bench 200 pounds, by the way. That's actually heavier than me. Anyway, let's say you need to bench Nikki to be a firefighter. No, I'm kidding. Let me use the numbers because that's easier. Let's say you need to bench 200 pounds to be a fire person. I do not want it to be 200 pounds for men and 180 pounds for women. Yes, maybe lowering it to 180 pounds would let an equal number of women become fire people. We'd have 50% firemen and 50% fire women because, equality, we need the same number of people who are firefighters. No. Fuck that. The fire doesn't care about your genitalia, about your gender, about your sex, about, your sexual orientation, whatever. The fire doesn't care. If you're a man or a woman, all that matters is whether or not you can put out that fire, whether you can save that burning puppy. Can you save that burning puppy? No? Well, don't be a fire person. I want all fire people to be held to the same level of physical ability, of mental ability, of just at the same standard. I just want fire people to be held at the same standard. This goes for any job. It just matters whether or not you can get the job done. Can you put out the fire? Can you save the kitten from a tree? I'm going back to kittens a lot. Man, I like kittens. And that's where I stand on the feminism topic. We should all be treated equally, but men and women aren't equal. If you don't agree with the men and women aren't equal part, I mean that's kind of important. One of us, and I'll let you decide which one, can have another human being grow inside of them. The other one can't. I think that's a pretty big difference. And we should try to treat each other as equally as possible. We need to recognize, though, in general, men are stronger than women, right? You take the average man and the average woman, the median man, the median woman, guy's probably a little stronger. We need to recognize that women are better at multitasking. From what I understand, you have two hemispheres of your brain, the left and right. Women have the two hemispheres connected a bit better, so they're better at multitasking. We're different, but we need to be treated equally. Anyway, feminism ties a little bit into the GamerGate topic because GamerGate seems to be targeting a lot of female game developers and just a lot of females in the gaming industry. And a lot of GamerGate defenders would say, oh no, that's a small minority of crazy GamerGate extremists that are harassing women. Well, all right. And I don't like to dispute things without some hard statistics. So I went out and got some hard statistics. Freddie Wong tweeted this out, and I'm going to read you a little bit of this article from newsweek.com. Once again, linked down in the description. They say, so is GamerGate really about ethics in journalism? Newsweek asked Brandwatch, a social media analytics company, to dig through 25% of the more than 2 million tweets about GamerGate since September 1st, this thing really blew up around August, September, to discover how often Twitter users tweeted at or about the major players in the debate and whether those tweets were positive, negative, or neutral. Now you could say, oh, how do they determine if a tweet is positive, negative, or neutral? Tone is lost to the internet. Good point there. But going on, I'm gonna put some faith in the person who is deciding whether or not these tweets were positive, negative, or neutral. The big players include Zoe Quinn, Nathan Grayson, etc. Twitter's, I'm going to skip down a little bit. Twitter users have tweeted Quinn using hashtag GamerGate 10,400 times since September 1st. 10,400 times since September 1st. Grayson has received 732 tweets with the same hashtag during the same period. Grayson's a guy, Zoe Quinn's a girl, of course. Quinn, 10,400. Grayson, 732. And I believe, are they talking about Twitter users have tweeted at Quinn using hashtag GamerGate? I think they're just going aggregate number of tweets and not malicious tweets, but, same percentage of malicious tweets going to the girl guy. If that is assumed, the girl's getting an overall net amount of, a larger net amount of hateful tweets. 10,400 to 732 tweets. If we just assume for a moment that they are getting the same number of hateful tweets, 20%, I'll throw out a number. Quinn is getting 20% of 10,000. Grayson is getting 20% of 732. And I don't think anyone's going to say Quinn is getting a lower percentage of hateful tweets than Grayson. So there's a very obvious, and if you scroll down this article here, you can see some bar graphs as to the females in the gaming industry are compared to the males. You can see who is getting more hateful tweets and who's getting less hateful tweets. Just so happens that the females of the gaming industry are getting a little bit more attention than the guys. Negative attention. And here's the thing. This is not how you advance your cause. I don't think I need to be the one to tell anyone this. I don't care what are you trying to advance the treatment of puppies or journalistic integrity or the environment, whatever. The way to advance your cause is not to hate on women specifically or to hate on something else unless it comes in direct conflict with, let's say, environmentalists are against tearing down trees. Oh, those are in direct conflict with each other. Okay, I don't see the relationship between journalistic integrity and women. I don't. What is putting down women going to do to further journalistic integrity? I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense to me. Now, from what I understand, Grayson, Kotaku journalist, got together with Quinn. And these aren't the only people affected by this. There are plenty of other women. But Quinn cheated on her boyfriend. Cheating's bad. Bad, Quinn. Cheating on your boyfriend. That's messed up. And bad things should happen to cheaters. Although I do want to hear her side of the story. Maybe her boyfriend was abusive. Whatever. I'm just going to assume for the moment she cheated. I will assume, again, for the moment Zoe Quinn cheated. She does not deserve this kind of treatment. She was just trying to make a game. All right. And yes, I understand the point. Grayson is a Kotaku journalist reviewing Quinn's game, Depression Quest. If you think he might be biased, which he is because he's a human being, unless we start having robots write our fucking news, we're going to be biased. We're humans. We cannot eliminate our bias. No matter what we do, no matter how neutral you try to stay, we're all slightly biased in one direction or the other, or extremely biased in one direction or the other. Regardless, if you think that Grayson's judgment of Zoe Quinn's game, Depression Quest, was hazed, was altered by their relationship, don't read his article. Go somewhere else to read about Zoe Quinn's game, Depression Quest. Just go somewhere else. Don't read his article. It's that simple. Don't give him page views. I don't want to support Nathan Grayson or Zoe Quinn. I don't want to give money to these terrible people who don't have journalistic integrity. Okay. Don't buy Zoe Quinn's game. Don't go to Kotaku and click on Nathan Grayson's article and give him page views and money. How about that? Isn't that a little more fair than sending rape threats, murder threats, bomb threats? I don't know what kind of crazy things people have been saying to female journalists over Twitter. But here's the thing. Here's another article. This is from the UK. Let me find it here because I am extremely organized. No, that's the NoPhone. Here we go. I got it. This is from BBC.com, the British Broadcasting Company. From the UK, the headline is, Internet Trolls Face Up to 2 years in Jail Under New Laws. That's what's up, UK. They know that this internet thing is serious. And people will say things over the internet that they wouldn't say to someone face to face. Because you know what? They probably would get punched repeatedly in their face if they said half of the things that they say to people over the internet. I'm not just talking about Gamergate now. I'm saying over the internet, people say things that if they were to say at a pickup basketball game would result in them getting a basketball and probably a fist to the face. So the UK now has a law. Internet trolls face up to 2 years in jail under new laws. America, you need to adopt a similar law. Going back to the NoPhone, a lot of people on their phones A lot of people have access to the internet nowadays. How are we going to protect these people? How about by holding people accountable for what they say over the internet? A lot of parents, I'm sure, are unaware of what their 13-year-old son or daughter are saying over the internet. 12-year-old, 11-year-old, whatever. You've played those kids online. You know what they sound like. All voice cracky. Probably use a few common derogatory terms because they can't vary up their insults. Here, pro tip. This is how you vary up your insults. Just combine two of them together. Piss couch. There you go. You can do whore monkey. Just vary up. If you're gonna talk smack, just vary up your. I probably shouldn't have taught you that. Don't smack talk people online. Moving on. A lot of parents aren't monitoring what their kids do over the internet. And, well, the parents aren't going to do it. Maybe we should do it with the law. 2 years in jail under new laws, I think is a little bit lenient. Let's go to the people. I don't know what happened to them, but the people who leaked the nudes during the fappening. Jennifer Lawrence and a bunch of other celebrities I don't know about. Let's go to the people or the person who leaked those pictures from the iCloud. Executed on the streets. Take him out to town square. Shotgun in the back of the head. Sell tickets. But Nikki, it's not humane. It's a violation of the 8th Amendment. Yeah. I know. Let's shoot him in the back of the head. We need to make examples of some people. You can't just be DDoSing people, leaking people's nudes, threatening people over the internet. There was I forget her name, but there was a female in the gaming industry who had to be escorted out of her home because of the number of threats she got. I believe this was even in San Francisco. This isn't cool. We need a government agency to track down these people's IPs and prosecute them. And no, I'm not saying the NSA and, they need to read people's emails and all that. I'm saying if you publicly, not privately, send an email, that's fucked up, NSA. Don't be doing that. Don't be reading people's private emails. Just because it's sent electronically over the internet does not make it any different than snail mail, paper mail. People can't read your bills. People can't open your packages. That shit, you get in trouble for that. But the NSA can look at our emails. That's messed up. No. Private stuff stays private. Private stuff on the cloud stays private. But publicly, if you publicly send a tweet to someone threatening their life, and of course, we need to look at context, make sure they're not joking. We need to look at intent. We need to look at their ability to act on their threats. Looking at all that, we need to start prosecuting people who say things over the internet. Now, I'm not just saying, oh, you said this on Twitter, execute them. No. I believe in the justice system. Let's try them. Let's come up with some evidence. Let's come up with their motivation, all that fun stuff that we should do before we sentence anyone to anything. The UK knows what's up. Internet trolls are facing 2 years in jail under new laws. We need something like this, right? 2 years in jail. I was joking earlier with the execution thing, obviously. The 2 years in jail thing sounds pretty fair to me. No, if you thought that I really want people taken out to Times Square executed via shotgun, I was chill. I'm an entertainer. Anyway, 2 years in jail I think is pretty fair, because think about the people sending out these threats, right? 13, 16, 18, 20-year-olds? 2 years in jail. If you're 20, it's 1/10 of your life. And technology changes a lot over those 2 years. Hopefully they shape up after that. Hopefully we really don't need to start taking people into Times Square and executing them via inhumane shotgun blast to the back of the head. Hopefully we don't have to do that. But people need to be responsible for their actions. It is ridiculous how women are treated on the internet. Have you ever been on Twitch to watch a female streamer? Show me your tits. Why are you playing video games? You're a girl. You're not good at video games just by your very gender. No. All right? Games are for everyone. Whether you're a gamer on your phone, even mobile gaming, whether you play those silly Facebook games, which, by the way, only stipulation that, don't be sending me any fucking invites to Farmville. Other than that, you're clear. Shooter players, people who play rhythm games, Guitar Hero, MOBAs, whatever. Gaming is for everyone. There is a game for everyone, even your grandpa. They have those little Sudoku games on the DS. Can we stop? Can we stop shutting people out of it? Going back to the Newsweek article, it's fine if you want to fight for journalistic integrity. How about we go to the old-fashioned boycott? That seems to have worked. Plenty times in the past. Let's boycott this product. Let's boycott the buses. Let's walk. Let's walk to work. Let's walk home. Let's not take the buses because they're going to make us sit in the back. How about you boycott the sites that you believe to not have journalistic integrity? You know what they're going to do? They'll be like, oh crap, we're not getting any page views. All right, seriously, you guys, stop making crap up about Taylor Swift eating kittens. This is serious, or we're all going to be out of jobs. How about you do that? Boycott people. Don't abuse women over the internet. And I found another little segment here at the bottom of the Newsweek article. Quinn, and I'm going to mess up this name so hard, Sarkisian? Sarkisian? Whatever. 3 women did not respond to a request for comment from Newsweek, but all 3 claim threats related to Gamergate have driven them from their homes. A claim which is reinforced by the fact that the FBI has reached out to the development community to discuss solutions for online harassment. So if anything good has come out of this Gamergate controversy, at least it's discussion. At least some weirdo, no life, deep-voiced, really good-looking podcast host is talking about it on his podcast. At least the FBI is talking about it. At least it's incited discussion. And at least good people are out there preaching, you Gamergate guys are crazy. You can fight for your cause. Yes. Journalistic integrity. I can see why you want that. I personally don't agree with it, but I can see why you want that. Fight for it. Boycott. Don't threaten people. This is like ISIS. I'm going to relate Gamergate to ISIS, yes. Let's further a cause by chopping reporters' heads off. Oh, how quaint. What a correlation. Anyway, there are hard statistics now, looking at these charts, that Gamergate is majority of them are going after females in the gaming industry. There are some hard statistics that I'm looking at right now. I see some bar graphs. You cannot hide behind it's just a small section of Gamergate that's crazy. No, there's a lot of you crazy motherfuckers out there. Stop associating yourselves with them. If you're one of those people who support journalistic integrity but aren't threatening people over Twitter, then please go start a new movement. Stop associating yourselves with these people. And similarly, plot twist, feminism, I think, needs to change its branding as well. Feminism, yes, first wave feminism, fighting for equality, men and women. And I believe even transsexuals, the LGBTQ community, there's a lot of letters in that one. But they're fighting for equality for everyone, right? Feminism. I think you guys need to change your branding. They are loosely, it seems like if you were an alien coming from Mars and you didn't know what feminism was, you just heard the name feminism, you would think, oh, it's to promote women. If men and women are really equal, why don't we call it patriotism? Because that's a really weird sounding word that I just made up, patriotism. But I'm going to go for it. We shouldn't assign the gender prefix to it. I think we should call it equalitism. I think that's a little more fair. Equality for men, women, transsexuals, pansexuals, bisexuals, gays, straights, whatever. Equalitism, ladies and gentlemen. Not feminism, because there are people who are hesitant to call themselves a feminist because you don't want to seem like one of those feminazis, another extremist group. This is all these crazy people are extremists, by the way. The extreme people of Gamergate, which is a lot of them, ISIS, Muslim extremists, feminist extremists, just don't associate yourself with them. Change your branding. Hopefully they don't follow. Because I like most of feminist values, But feminazis, the let's kill all men and chop off their balls thing, not really on board with that. I think you can understand. That's not cool, feminazis. So, equalitism at the end of the day, that's what I stand for. I don't really want to associate myself with any of these labels. If you want to fight for journalistic integrity, don't associate yourself with GamerGate, because they've made a really bad rap for themselves. If you want to associate with feminism, that's fine. I just feel like everyone as a whole who supports feminism, which should be everyone, I don't know about you, but I like living in a progressive society where we don't stone and beat women and have them not even able to drive. I like living in a progressive society. I like feminism. I just feel like we should change our branding a little bit so it doesn't sound so one-sided. It's in the name, female feminism. How about we change it to something, that encompasses more than just gender? Because feminism is not just about that anymore. It's also about sexuality and all that. How about we change it away from, it's called feminism, but we want to encourage all kinds of people to be equal. Let's change that to equalitism. Let's start that movement, right? Yeah, let's start it right here, right now. It's not going to go anywhere. Maybe someone important will listen to this podcast and change the branding of feminism. Anyway, GamerGate, they're insane. Don't associate yourself with them. But if you want to fight for journalistic integrity, that is nice. America, at the end, I want people to be held accountable for what they say. I want warrants. I don't want people going into people's emails, but I want people to be prosecuted legally, go through the legal system, make sure that they had motivation or intent, evidence of their threats, all that stuff before you prosecute someone. I can't emphasize the justice part of the justice system enough because, again, I spoke about before, I'm really against media sensationalization. I don't want Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, outraged people to be like, oh, you said this bad thing about this person, and they take out and execute them. No. Or whatever the consequence would be, shove them in jail. I don't want the crowd to say, hey, this person sent this person a threat, put them in jail. No, let's have the legal system intervene, figure out if that person had intent, motivation, and get evidence that it was them, because people's accounts can get hacked, and that's, they could be framed for something. That would be terrible. Let's have the legal system intervene, and if that person is guilty, they need to be punished, because people do need to be held accountable for things they say over the internet. They wouldn't say it to other people's face. In fact, maybe not even the intent part. Maybe just because I'm sure a lot of these are empty threats. Hey, I'm going to rape you, your family, your daughters, your mom, everyone. People have been sending those threats over Twitter to female game developers for forever now. Even if there is no intent to actually follow up on that, I still think they should be punished for their actions. We should find out if they were the ones who actually did it, if they had access to their account, make sure they weren't hacked, and show them that you can't say these things. You're going to get in trouble for that. The UK is going the right direction. 2 years in jail for internet trolls. America needs to take the same route. Anyway, let's close out the show. Thank you all for listening to episode 4 of the StealthCast. I've been your host, Nikki. If you want to keep up with me on Twitter, @StealthShampoo is one way to do that. Facebook.com/StealthShampoo. Subscribe here on my YouTube channel. You can find me streaming lots on Twitch, twitch.tv/StealthShampoo. Once again, thank you all for coming out. Leave the video a like if you liked it. And let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about my idea, equalitism, GamerGate, the NoPhone. Let me know. What do you think? I've been your host, Nikki. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you all some other time.